What's up guys and welcome to a new video. My name is Frank and I react to metal music. Today I'm here again with Lovebites and the last two tracks for their new just released album Judgment Day, which are Lost in the Garden and Soldier Stands Solitarily. So far I think this album is amazing and I think that their classic influences expanded even more than before. They have very classic power metal and heavy metal sound in this one, and a lot of classic rock influences as well. I think many more than the past. Like their oldest album sounds a little bit more like just power metal with some songs that are more classic rock and stuff like that. But in this one, I feel like they paid even more homage to the classic metal, like from the 70s and 80s. And that's a thing that I can appreciate, and that's a thing that I'm not crazy about, because of course I'm younger, I didn't live those years, so it doesn't have the same impact on me than say a person that grew up in the 80s, right? I grew up in the late 90s, so it's totally different from me. But I, as always, love their musicianship, and I love their general sound, and I think they are one of my favorite Japanese bands for sure. But guys, before I start this reaction, please consider subscribing to the channel, give me a like and a comment if you have more suggestions for me, just want to say hi or whatever. And let's start. I'm very excited to listen to these last two songs and then give you guys my general opinion about this album. Let's start. Ooh. That sounded like Rhapsody for a moment right there. Rhapsody of Fire. Yep. Love this riff, very cool. The bending. bit of Miyako on the keys here. What an ending! Wow, what an ending, guys. I think this might be definitely one of my favorite songs in the album, for sure. I love the fact that they mixed a very classic melodic power metal, again from the late 90s, first 2000, with very, I would say, very strong neoclassical influences, with a little bit of progressive in there as well. But definitely the sound of this one reminds me a lot, as I was saying before, of Rhapsody of Fire, a very well-known power metal band, Italian power metal band I might add. I'm Italian too, by the way, if you don't know my channel, if you're new here. So I tend to like those bands. Patriotic. But yeah, Rhapsody of Fire definitely are one of those power metal bands that I listened to the most when I was younger, in my early 20s. And definitely I can see the influence, especially in the riff and in the solo. Very, you know, Rhapsody of Fire used to be very power metal and neoclassical fusion, so to speak. So this is definitely that kind of the same style, and I really like this kind of sound for sure. And I love the solo, I love the singing, love the drumming, love the rhythmic is still very power metal-y. I feel that they have 4 or 5 songs in this album that have this kind of rhythmic, you know, very fast tremolo picking with power music, with some gallop. I like to call it the Iron Maiden gallop, you know, because they use that in a lot of songs, and they have been one of the first bands using it together with the Judas Priest and other bands from that era, right? That that's, I love that kind of rhythmic, very cool. And I think that Fami, their new bassist, said that she had to learn that kind of rhythmic on the bass because she didn't play that before, which is very interesting. And let's go to the last one. A Soldier Stands Solitarily. That's a very epic kind of title. Let's see if this song is this epic as well. Ooh. Very cool intro. I love intros like this. Arpeggios. This is definitely different. I love this rhythmic. Wow, guys. Speaking also. What? Amazing riff. But I think we might found my favorite song in this album. But before listening to this one, I was thinking, yeah, I think my favorite song in this one is Dissonance in this album. But after listening to Solitarily, I think Dissonance became my second favorite. This is my favorite, A Soldier Stands Solitarily. Wow. This sound exactly, I wouldn't say exactly, like at least 90% like the power metal that I grew up with, listening to when I was growing up. You know, this very fast, very technical, relentless, very aggressive kind of sound, but still very melodic, you know, but still very, very aggressive, you know, energetic. This is the power metal that I used to know growing up, you know. I used to listen to basically old bands like this one. Like, this is the power metal that makes you wanna go and punch a wall, you know, or makes you wanna run, makes you wanna lift weights, you know, gives you really gives you the power to do stuff, you know. And that's what power metal is for me, basically growing up, because it's you know, I like aggressive music. I like aggressive metal a lot nowadays, but back then I still liked very melodic power metal as well, like on par of it. And so this kind of power metal here, very melodic but very aggressive at the same time, was for a lot of reasons nowadays too, was and is my favorite kind of power metal, you know. That's amazing. I love the song, and definitely, as I said before, A Soldier Stands Solitarily, Dissonance, and Stand Up and Deliver as a third. These are my three favorite songs: Soldier Stands Solitarily, Judgment Day, and Stand Up and Deliver. My three favorite songs in this album for sure. But don't mistake, I like basically every song on this album, but these three are definitely the three that stood up for me. And wow, this is definitely a very cool album. I love the fact that they have many influences. And my only critique is that maybe I would have liked if they did one more song like similar to A Soldier Stands Solitarily. They have power metal songs in this album, but are slower and a little bit even more melodic than this one, and I like those one as well. But you know, Soldier Stands Solitarily, as I said before, is what I like in power metal. So if they did like at least another song like this, similar to this one in this album, I would have liked it even more. But definitely, this album is a solid 8.5 for me. Really enjoyed it, and man, Lovebites can do no wrong. They're amazing. Right? Like musicianship wise, considering how good they are and the fact that they have Pami too now, which is an amazing bassist. Like, she's got an amazing technique and she can play everything very fast, and you know, they can only get even better. And as a side note, I'm very curious to see what the next album after this one gonna sound like, because as I understand, this album was not composed with Fami in the formation. Like, they already had this album ready before Fami joined the band, right? So she only had to record her bass line, but I think the bass line was already composed before, right? So I'm curious to see what kind of power metal songs they're gonna be able to do when Fami is gonna be able to put her, you know, her input in the composition of the band, like directly. You know what I mean? I really can't wait to see and mainly hear that. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this small series of reactions, and of course I'm gonna wait for them to release music videos for the songs, and I'm gonna react to those as well. And if you liked it, give me a like, a comment if you have more suggestions for me, just wanna share, whatever, and definitely we'll see each other in the next one. Rock on.